Hi everyone, Emily from Making a Musician here. Today's video is actually a tutorial on a great student activity I put together. So this is a print and cut activity where a student can actually make a functioning model of a piano action. So a piano action, for those who don't know, is just the series of parts that starts at pushing a key on the keyboard and ends in the hammer striking the strings and making a sound. So this is actually part of a larger piano packet that I put together that includes everything from the invention and history of the piano to all the parts of the piano, how it works. There's also a lot of fantastic activity pages in there, so I'll be sure to link below to my website where you can find this for purchase, and stick around to see how you can make a piano action at home. Okay, so let's do a really quick overview of how a grand piano action actually works. So as I said before, it's just a system of levers and moving pieces that account for the key being pushed down all the way to the point where the hammer hits the string. So we have all these different parts here, but there's some main ones that you need to know of. So we've got the key, which is the front side of the key lever. So this is actually the part of the keyboard that you see and play, but then it goes way back into the piano. So towards the back of the lever, we have this capstan screw. And if you notice, it pushes up on the bottom of this whip-in, which is this triangular piece here that's actually a cluster of smaller parts. So then the whip-in is going to rotate upwards into the knuckle, which is this small round piece at the base of the hammer. And then that is what sends the hammer up to strike the strings. Also at the back of the key lever, we have this extra bit that's going to catch the bottom of our damper lever to lift the damper off the strings. I know that sounds like a lot. Let me just explain a little bit more. So all of the strings need to have a damper sitting on them, because if they didn't, the strings would sound with just people talking or anything happening. The strings are very sensitive and will vibrate. So they all have these felt dampers sitting on the tops of them to keep them quiet. It would be like putting your hand just gently on the strings of a guitar just to stop them from sounding. So it's important that this mechanism be able to lift up the damper off the strings just in time for the hammer to strike. And then with gravity, when the key comes back up after it's been pressed, the damper is going to come back down. So let's actually look here. I've got a diagram of how this energy actually works. So again, step one, you're going to push down on the key. So then step two, that's going to bring the back side of this key lever up like a seesaw. So the capstan screw is going to hit the whip-in, which then is going to go up into the knuckle. Before that, so while this is all happening, step three, the damper lever is being raised up. So now we've got step four, the damper is going to come up. Step five, the knuckle is going to propel the hammer up. So step six, the hammer can strike the string. All right, that might seem like a lot. I've listed everything out in all 6 steps, but now we actually get to put it all together into a moving model. So in order to do this, I've included all these instructions here. I'm going to just sort of talk you through it right now. So there's 2 important pages that you're going to get. First, you have the piano action parts. I've divided this into 4 pieces. Your key lever, which also has the capstan screw on it. And then you've got your damper, which is really the damper and the damper lever all in one. You have the whip-in, which is really the entire whip-in assembly. And then you've got the hammer, which includes the knuckle on it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is cut out these 4 rectangles. And then before you cut out the pieces, I highly recommend you punch the holes. There's these red X's. So you want to punch your hole right there. It's going to keep all the pieces a lot straighter and nicer. You want to keep everything as flat and nice as you can in order for this to work properly. Once you've punched the holes, then go ahead and cut out your pieces. You want to make sure that you follow these dotted outlines. Those are going to be important pieces of the parts. A lot of tabs that we fold over. So then, speaking of which, the last step is that once everything is cut out, you're going to fold over your tabs. So you're going to fold over this one so it'll actually look like a key on the top. You have to fold over this one above your capstan screw. You have to fold over this one in the back, and if you can see, you actually have to cut it all the way down to here and then fold it over. If you don't make that cut all the way, it's not going to fold over correctly. And then you need to fold over the bottom of your damper lever. You need to make a fold at the bottom and the top of your whip-in, and then you have a fold right here along the knuckle of the hammer. So then you're going to have this background page. This is where everything's actually going to get mounted. So there's some little red dashed lines. I'm going to recommend that you use an X-Acto knife or a utility knife. You're going to want to cut little slits in there. And then using brad fasteners, you're going to attach each of your pieces to the background where it says. So I actually have a completed one here to show you. So I've cut out all of my pieces. Let's get everything lined up. There we are. Okay, so you can see all my pieces are cut out. I have all of my tabs folded up where it's marked. And I've used brad fasteners to attach each of these where they're assigned on the page. Now, actually, I just made all this straight, but I should show you something. These are very loose on the back. I'm not tightening these down too much because you want things to be able to move very freely. So let's get everything set up. So you want the hammer resting just below the string, all of your folding tabs just set and ready to go, and the damper is resting on the string. So the way this is going to work, when I push down the key, you're going to see everything move the way it's supposed to. And there it goes. You see the damper came off the string, the whip-in rotated up, and the hammer struck the string. Now, of course, in a real piano, the hammer does not actually go past the string. The strings stop it. But look at how much force that hammer has from this series of levers. So again, let's get this in the down position. The damper is on the string. So this would be like if no one is touching the keys and they're just naturally in this up position. So now I'm going to push the key, and there everything goes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're as excited about this activity as I am. It was a lot of fun to put together. Like I said, I will include links down below, or you can find me at makingamusician.com. See you next time.